Hello. I wanted to share something that I've been shown. It slowed me right down, and it's started to bring synchronization between my head and my heart really effectively. And this is the basis of my work that I do with my clients, is bringing coherence between the head and the body, the heart, the feeling and the thinking world. And we often don't find ourselves healing or integrating until we actually slow down enough to begin to match the rhythm of our bodies. Our head's just way too fast. And if you're anything like I used to be, you think a lot, and that gets us in trouble. And so one of the things I want to share today is the fact that you're going to take the exact amount of time you need to take to reach this level of coherence in your life. There's no rush. In fact, the more that you rush things, the more it seems to be this dangling carrot you can't reach. Getting away from this idea to put any force or pressure on yourself for healing, for relief, and instead to begin to be okay with what you're experiencing in each and every moment. And that might be racing thoughts, which often is a sign that you're not attuned to your body. And that's sometimes all we need, is that little reminder. Hang on, where are you? Are you in your head? We can't fight overthinking by overthinking. We actually have to do something different. Remember that our minds are essentially a closed circuit system. 95% of our thoughts have been found to be the same thoughts from the day before. So if we want to have any kind of paradigm shift or change in our lives, we have to move out of that mode of operating. And so beginning to breathe, beginning to move down to the awareness within your body, beginning to slow down so that you can create more harmony in your life. And that way you can finally access all of that stuck, stagnant, old energy that you've been running around with in your life, stuck inside your bodies. And that would be in the form of repressed emotions that you just keep stuck down, that seem to come up every time you're triggered. It might be in the form of disease, physical manifestation of this disharmony in your body. It might even be where you actually just can't feel, so that numb state. And these are all signs that you are living in your head really successfully, but finding there's just a lot of pain, isn't it? It hurts to live in our heads. There's no answers there, ironically. And so my wisdom nugget is that there is a peaceful part of ourselves that can be found only within our bodies, not our heads. And we must start with breath to slow down, and then begin to be okay with experiencing all of those emotions that we've been avoiding without judging them. And so the basis of this kind of work, if you like, is to realize you're safe. You're okay. That it's actually okay to begin to face with courage all of the stuff that we've been avoiding. We've cut ourselves off from the stuff down here. So if you find yourself struggling in your head, racing around and round, spiraling, anxiety is a big sign of this, fear, then you know that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting different results, isn't it? So it's time to maybe try something different. Come into breath. That's the first step to get out of your head. It activates the parasympathetic, moves you out of survival mode. It brings you down into depths of your being you may not have felt for a long time, and it's where you start to activate all those uncomfortable emotions you've pushed down that are still in there. And that's why a lot of people find breath work or even meditation very uncomfortable. And they say, oh, I can't do that, or I don't do that, or oh, no, I don't make time for that. The truth is, they don't want to face that pain that they sense is down there if they stop. But we're not really living, are we, when we keep going to avoid the pain? And so it might be worth it. And you are safe to feel that. And what I talk about in the depths of your being, one day you'll find, which is what I'm experiencing now, a deep inner peace. A recognition that you've done your shadow work, that you're moving through so many layers that you've now released. You're not carrying around all that stuck energy anymore, and you're not making up new stories to create more stuck energy. And that's where ultimately I believe we can get to feel more free, and that consistent feeling of peace, centeredness, is where we no longer create new narratives. So we're not in our mind continuously creating meaning, preferences, judgments about everything that we see and experience. Instead, we just purely experience it with the body, witnessing as loving awareness what energies come through our nervous system, and then allowing it to be felt, to be released. That's how we release energy. We feel to heal. And so I would encourage you to recognize you are safe, that emotions are not going to kill you. They're the way to allow them to be seen, to be heard, to be released. You'll feel lighter. You will feel lighter. And after whatever time it takes for you to do that, it could be a little bit of a journey to go through. But on the other side, I can assure you that you're going to feel clearer. You're going to be able to attune to the true self guidance, that internal guidance system. It will come online. And it's a much quieter guide that takes listening, attuning in each moment, that requires you to be slower, to be at that 0 point, if you like, that place that's not inside of time and space or narrative story. You will know when you are free of that endless cycle of torture from our mind, when you no longer entertain stories. You just hold awareness. And there's a beautiful joy that will begin to bubble up in that emptying. And this comes from the Taoist philosophy, to empty oneself. You know, that's wisdom, that's ancient, that applies now. It's making sense now. We need to empty ourselves of story. And that might mean our identity. That might mean everything that you've clutched onto to feel safe in the world. But we don't want to get safety from the world. We want to begin to let go of external validation. And this is where I'm at now. I've come to a place where I've fully seen and recognized where I was giving my power away in the external world. And to come to that consistent inner peace, we must move all of our external reaching for validation, for worthiness, for value. We must bring it back to our inner core, our true self, our higher self, our source code, our oneness. There's many language forms we can use here to construct meaning, but ultimately there's no language for 0 point awareness. You just are. And you'll find that if you begin to really practice this, there'll be less ups and downs that come with anxiety, depression, emotional dysregulation, because you're no longer giving your power away in each moment. Your steady groundedness is in your core. Now, I'm sure this might hit in some places in a positive way for you, or you might pull aspects of this message into your awareness that resonate right now. So take or leave what feels right. But just know that you're okay. There is no pressure on time here. Time isn't real. Your true self exists outside of time. You're okay. One day at a time. Just slow down. Catch up. Be okay. Here now. See ya.